The media, politicians, and activists are too outraged over people being upset about a dude pulling out his dong in front of women at a spa in Los Angeles. Too outraged about an athlete who thought it was a good idea to smoke weed right before she'd be taking a drug test that would determine whether she'd get into the Olympics, an event she'd been training for nonstop. And too outraged about Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg holding an American flag while doing some rich people to give more than a minute to talk about the crime and violence that's plaguing our once great major cities. Well, I'm here to talk about it because while they're too busy being professional victims, actual victims aren't busy at all anymore because they're losing their lives en masse. Hey everybody, thanks for joining me one more time for Things That Need to Be Said, if the big tech oligarchs even allow you to see this. For MRC-TV, I'm Nick Kangadis. I'm going to throw out some numbers for you, and then you tell me in the comments what's more important to be outraged about. St. Louis, at least 5 dead, several others wounded. Baltimore, at least 5 dead, 9 wounded. New York City, at least 26 people shot. Chicago, my hometown, had the most violent weekend of 2021. At least 19 dead, another 85 wounded, including 13 children. And that's only 1 week after at least 5 were murdered and another 72 were wounded. And overall, at least 233 dead, 618 injured just over the Independence Day weekend. All the cities I mentioned, yeah, run by Democrats. Is that enough death for the left to be outraged about? Not apparently. Instead, communist terrorists like those in Antifa are too busy beating reporters for even daring to cover the story of a dude, not a transgender female, but a dude exposing himself to women and young girls at a spa.
What sexual orientation? I see a dick. It lets me know he's a man. He's a man. He is a man. He is not no female. He is not a female. He is not a female.
Now let me tell you something about Antifa real quick, folks. If they're not in groups, they're cowards. They wouldn't do a damn thing if they were by themselves. That being said, where are they when people of every color, but predominantly minorities, are losing their lives in this country at a rate of 3 an hour? Think about that. This past weekend, 3 people were shot and killed every hour. If you include the wounded, that number rises to almost 12 people being shot in this country every hour over the Independence Day weekend. And there's no doubt that not very many of the criminals that shot people were responsible gun owners, if any at all. You'd think for people that are constantly trying to disarm actual responsible gun owners, they'd use all these shootings as an excuse to keep trying. Oh, but the overwhelming majority of these guns used in these shootings aren't of the legal variety, and they simply can't have their narrative change or be derailed by minute details like that. No, but let's go nuts over a rich dude that censors people willy-nilly for holding an American flag on Independence Day weekend.
Country roads, take me home.
And where are the self-proclaimed Marxists? I thought Black Lives mattered. While black people weren't the only victims of gunfire over the weekend, there were plenty of black people who were killed. Did their lives matter, or is BLM just a group of useful idiots doing the bidding of the establishment who they constantly blame for setting up a racist system? That group brings in tens of millions of dollars in donations, but even local chapters are wondering where the money's gone. I guess the leaders, or should I say former leaders, are too busy buying multi-million-dollar homes in predominantly white neighborhoods. And the politicians, they're too busy trying to change the rules so that it favors their attempts to rig the system even further against the average Joe. Filibuster this, lefties.
How about no?
I'm not going to take up too much more of your time this week, except to say that as mad as the left is concerning superfluous garbage that really matters to no one but them, who are only doing so in order to virtue signal hard enough to score points for their social credit scores, we all need to be more upset at them ruining this country. And that's exactly what the left is doing. The right isn't completely innocent, but the left have turned their activism into the new Olympic sport of painting themselves and the plebs they pretend to care about as victims. Criminals are victims in their eyes because they'll basically say that they don't know any better since the system is rigged against them. And it's the system that they set up. I couldn't think of a more concrete statement that shows just how racist the left is. People are dying. If the left actually paid attention to what matters, they'd know that nearly 1,000 people being shot in a single weekend practically amounts to genocide. Almost 1,000 people in a single weekend, folks. You mad yet? So, am I making sense, or were these things that needed to be said? Let me know in the comments, where I do read most and reply to some. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel on Rumble. If you like this video, don't forget to comment, share, and give it a thumbs up. Those are the best ways to help these videos reach more people, and it's the best way to let us know you want us to keep these videos coming. Subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so that YouTube might actually let you know when MRC-TV comes out with a new video if they haven't censored it or taken it down yet. Like us on Facebook and check out more of our work at MRCTV.org. For MRC-TV, I'm Nick Kangadis.